Hello and welcome to my channel. It's Sally here. Today I'm going to be working on a dress project. Now this is part of the whimsical wearables, but it's not really a wearable as it is because it's not a doll's dress, it's a baby's dress. But I don't think it will ever be worn by a baby. It won't be worn by a baby. But I had this dress gifted to me from, I think Kristy bought it me from, I think it might have been from Doll's House Vintage, I'm not sure. I've washed it and pressed it. It has still got some stains on and everything. It is quite old. It's a little bit tatty in places. It's got bigger holes where it's been ripped, but I thought it's absolutely beautiful, and I've wanted to do a dress project for a while, like adorning a dress for quite a while, and I've just never got round to it. So I thought, right, this is the opportunity for me to have a go at this. So ideas. First of all, I thought that, I mean, one of the things that has stopped me is thinking, what shall I put on it? So I didn't really know what to put on it. And then I was thinking, well, baby's dress. So kind of like, it led me to nursery rhymes. And then something else I was looking at, in fact, where are they? I will forget something. Hang on 1 second. I was looking through my vintage linens, and I was noticing how many crinoline ladies I had. I can't use these because they're too big, but they're kind of like my inspiration for all of my stitching, which I will show you in a little while. So I've got little these crinoline ladies. I thought, oh, have I got enough to do what I want to do? I haven't. So I just thought, well, I'm going to use these as inspiration because they're all different sizes and everything. And it wasn't quite what I wanted. I have got some more somewhere, but I don't know where they are. No. We'll just show you those for now anyway. So yeah, these are kind of like my inspiration as well. And I was thinking, well, what nursery rhyme, crinoline ladies. So I came up with, well, I didn't come up with it. It's an old one. Mary, Mary, quite contrary. How does your garden grow with silver bowls and cockle shells and pretty maize all in a row? I'm sure everybody's already heard of that. It's a little nursery rhyme. And I thought, well, that's kind of, yes, I could go with that. The pretty maids, the crinoline ladies. And then I'm thinking silver bowls and cockle shells, and I'll show you what I'm doing for that in a moment. So that's kind of like the verse that's inspired me with the crinoline ladies and the dress. So we've got kind of like the beginnings of a project going on here, I was thinking. So it took hold of me, and I've been working on this for a couple of weeks now because I have done a little bit of prep work, and the prep work has been quite a lot. I've still not finished the prep work actually. So yeah, this is the dress that I'm going to be embroidering on, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have my crinoline ladies on here. I'm going to, where the holes are, I'll show you this. This is from my daughter Ruby, because I was telling her about the project, and I said I'd like to have a look in the antique shop that I sell at, just to see if anyone's got any shell necklaces. And she says, oh, I've got a shell necklace. So she's given me this so that I can cut this up, and what I'm going to be doing is in the holes, not every hole, but they're going to be the cockle shells. So I might need more, but that's going to start me off. I've got beads, and I've also found some little buttons. I thought little buttons would be good. And I've also found some little bits and pieces. So those are like hook and eyes. I thought maybe I could dangle those in. I've got some prestas because that kind of, you know, they're kind of like shiny and silvery, and so I thought I've got bells. Let me just show you. I've got my boxes of. I'm sure we've all got one of the bit box. So I've got my bit box. I've got. I mean, look at that tiny little thimble. I thought, I wonder if I could get John, my husband, to like maybe drill a hole or something, and then I could have that on it. We've got little hearts there. I've got, what's that there? Sequin. That's a bead, just a lone bead. I've just seen something else actually. There's a little pen, little S there. Got stars. Look, more bells here. What's in the next one? I've got two boxes because that one's not big enough. So I've got this one as well. This has got beads in as well, and stuff and bits. And look, there's another thimble there. I could perhaps get a hole in that one maybe. Oh look, little bells there. They're not silver bells, but they're still nice. Then I've got flowers here, but I've got tiny little ones here. I've put some flowers on, I've got more beads. Oh, look at that, look, little butterfly there. I might have a go at painting that actually. That, I've got all kinds of little trinkets. Some aren't going to be useful. It's myself a necklace, I think. Some aren't going to be useful, some are. Even like little beads like that. So anyway, that's going to come to a later date when I've kind of finished much of my other stuff, just because they'll get in the way if I start putting them on now. But that's kind of like the things that I'm thinking of for my silver bells and cockle shells that are going to be kind of scattered around this lovely lacy trim. And you can see, look, there's like wear and tear, but that'll be perfect for a bell or something like that. So I thought that's absolutely beautiful. It's got ripped there, but so I'm not bothered about that anyway. So I'm going to be concentrating on the skirt. I'm not going to be doing anything on the bodice of the dress or the sleeves, I don't think. And I don't think I'm going to be doing anything on the collar, but that may all change. I don't know, I might get an idea. But mainly it's going to be the skirt and the trim at the bottom that I'm going to be concentrating on. So what I've done with my verse, you wouldn't believe how much material is in this. I measured it, and I think it's all the way around, if you go both sides, it's I think it's 64 inches. So I thought, right, well, I can't kind of visualize that as such, so let me just move that out of the way. So I thought I will get a piece of paper. So I got some A4 paper and started tearing them in half and joining them together to make 64 inches. This isn't 64 inches, this is a little bit less actually, because I thought I don't want it completely going all the way around, because I'm kind of wanting to swirl it round, and that might take up more room. I'm not sure how it'll go, and I'll maybe space some of the words out and everything. So I thought I'll just do it a little bit shorter. So this is about 6 inches shorter than it should be. So I started to write out in kind of like the script that I want. Not just my handwriting really, but kind of like a little bit neater. And then I didn't even get all the way to it, because you know, when you're writing, you kind of can't gauge quite how much room you need for everything. So I've gone through, and then like this one here, I didn't quite like the pretty, so what I did was I just wrote it out again. And that's what I'll do with all of the words. I'll kind of go around like that one there, maybe put a little tail on there, and then up like that, maybe like that, you know, just make them a little bit more fancy. Most of them I quite like actually. Maybe that one there, I will do a little bit different. I might even put a little on that. Not sure about that one, might try that one again. I don't like that, so I'll try it again. I'll just keep trying it until I find the one that I like. I don't know, I'll keep trying. That one there, maybe put a tail on like that. This one here, I like that one better than that one, so I might use that twice and not use that one at all, because what I'll do is I'll be tracing these. Once I've got them to how I want them, I'll be tracing them. And I did a few lines because I didn't know how tall I wanted my letters either. So I kind of started with, what did I start with? I started with this here. I thought, no, that's way too big. So then I kind of put another one on the top, and that just worked out. So that's kind of like the one that I'm going to go for. So anyway, they're my words. So I'm just going to pop those away for now, because I've been concentrating on my crinoline ladies. So I've done a few. They're not quite finished. Most of them are. Let me just put my pencil away. I've got the thread hanging off me. So that one's finished. That one's finished. That one's finished. That one's finished. These two here, I've put their own flowers on, and I don't like the flowers. So I've got some fabrics here, and I thought what I would do is, I don't know whether it's going to work, but we'll see. I've just got some with kind of like little kind of bouquet type patterns on. That's what Kristy's just given me as well. So this, I'd like to maybe, if I can, I like that yellow. Let me just pick that yellow out, because this dress has got yellow on as well. Kind of thought, this is just initial ideas, and it's an idea that I've only just had, because I was just thinking I don't like the flowers. So if I take this bouquet, I suppose I should backtrack a little bit and say that what I'm going to do, I've got 12 of these ladies. That's obviously too big. I might have to go for a smaller one, maybe. Let's just, let me just, before I do that, I'm kind of rushing ahead of myself. I've got 12 of these ladies. These ones here I haven't finished yet. I'm just, I'm still working on these. I've still got these to do. First of all, these patterns that I got, did a little bit of a cheater and traced them off somebody else's patterns. I didn't realise that, I thought they were old patterns at first, because I just got them with, I think I got them in a book or something like that with a load of other stuff that I got. So I didn't really know that much about them apart from the crinoline ladies. But I have done a bit of research and I found out who actually produces them. So I will pop a link below my channel, and then you, if you wanted to, you could buy them. So yeah, I've been just going through and popping little bits, just little straight stitches, little thread beads. Are they thread beads? They are. They're French knots, I think, on that one. Just different things, just to zhuzh them up, because that's how they were at first. And I thought they were a bit plain. So, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut out the outline. I will cut one out now. Just find the bigger scissors. I'm just going to cut it larger than I need it. Like that. And grab my dress. So I don't know where I'm placing them yet. That's why I've kind of done them separately, because I wanted them to, I just thought if I added them on, it might give it a little bit more stability as well. Although it is thickish fabric, it's not mega thin. Some of these are quite thin. Oh, also, if you wanted to do this, I have got some of these gown, or not short like this, you'd have to take them up, but I have got some on my Instagram page if you were looking for a doll's dress, not a doll's dress, sorry, a baby's dress, or christening gown, I think they are as well. Then I have got some for sale on my Instagram page. I think there's about 4 of them, if you were interested, but obviously I don't want to sell too much, but they are there if you wanted to do this and couldn't find one. And sorry, it's UK only. The postage is so expensive at the moment, it makes everything really expensive if I do overseas, so I've decided I'm not doing that anymore. So just, I don't know at the moment how I'm going to attach. Kind of going to go on there, and then the writing will kind of go, there's my writing. You can tell that I've kind of like, just, you know, shall we say, making it up as I go along, because that's what you do, isn't it? So I'm making it up as I go along. So it's all ideas, and I don't like to be tied down to too many ideas, and I can't actually, I'm unable to draw out an idea and execute it. My ideas evolve, and, you know, I might change my mind, but that's how it goes, you know. With this kind of thing, that's how I work. So yeah, so I don't know. Mary, quite contrary, how does you got it? It'll go like that, something like that, around the ladies. Yeah, so what I will have to do is, once I've finished all the ladies, is cut them out and kind of pin them on loosely like that, and then see how my words work around. And I think what I'm going to do, because you hardly ever see the back, I'm going to start here, so, and then I will finish at the back. I think that's what I'm going to do. Again, it may all change, but I just don't want to leave the back blank, that's all. I know it would probably be better if everything fell onto the front, but then that's not what this is. You know, I want to decorate the whole thing, so it's going to be a 3D thing. It's not going to be just a flat picture. But that's why I'm doing a dress. So yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. So I'll just put my dress away and just carry on with what I was doing. As I was saying, I've got these little pieces here, so I'm going to just try and fussy cut around. I think it might be a bit too big, this one. I wonder if I can go down there, take out that blue flower. Let's just see what that looks like. It's too big. Okay, so let's take a small one. Let's try this one. To trim. I've got a feeling this is going to be too small. Oh no, it's not. Isn't that strange? I mean, I'm going to have to cover that up. I just think it'll look... does it? No, I don't think it does. I thought it'd look okay, but I don't like it. Let's try another. Let's just try another, just in case. What else have I got? Just looking, see. I've got a little rose. Let's try the little rose. Let's try that one. What does that one look like? No, it doesn't look right, does it? That looks better. Now that looks better. Because it looks like she's holding a bouquet there, whereas that just looks like I've plunked a flower on top of her hands. It doesn't look right. Right, okay then. So, yeah, you see, tried that idea out. Doesn't work. Didn't like it. I'm going to keep with the flowers. I think there's only a few like that have got, that I need. The one I'm working on at the moment has got no hands. I wonder if, you see... No, it doesn't look right. No, it looks like I'm covering up her hands, whereas a little bouquet of flowers doesn't. How many of those have I got? So I've got one here as well. I think it's there. No, I'm going to do flowers. There's one. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think there's 4 more with flowers on. So I'm going to just do the flowers. So yeah. Just thinking, what did I do for the other one? There's another one here somewhere with flowers. Is it that one there? That one. So I'll just do them like that after all. So I've tried it out. You know, you have these ideas. You've got to try them out sometimes just to see if they work. Sometimes they do. You think fabulous. I'm very creative. Other times you don't. And you think, oh my days, what was I thinking? So I'm going to pack those fabrics away. Over that, I'll leave them alone there. So, I'm going to cut all these ones out. I'll move that out of the way just so that I don't cut the dress. I'm not sure if I'm going to be needle turning this or showing my stitches. I'm kind of erring towards showing my stitches. Just because I don't want it too classical. Do you know, like the classical embroidery, especially the reason why I didn't like the flowers is because it just reminds me too, I can't find it now, the one that I've done. It reminds me too much of classical embroidery. Where it is, that one. Yeah, so, but, so I think to contrast with that, those stitches, I might show my stitches on this. I'll try one. And this is lovely fabric. This is like really vintage old, I think it was like a pillowcase, but it's got, I don't know whether you can see it or not, it's got like rust marks on it and everything. It's lovely, but it's lovely to sew in, sew through, sew with. So I'm just doing these roughly now, and then I'll decide how much of an edge I want. It's been lovely working on these. Like I say, I've been working on these for several weeks now. You know, just on and off. When I've got a few minutes, just got my my little basket of threads and everything, and my fabric to sew on, and I've just been, whenever I've got a few minutes, just picking it up and sewing it. I really enjoy doing them. It's a good job because there's 12, and usually if I'm doing a bulk amount of stuff, I usually get quite bored, but I haven't with these. I think because they're all different. And I've used the different colours. I've tried to stay within a palette of colours. I've not veered too, I've not got too many colours. I think there's a few more colours somewhere, maybe, that I've used. I might have run out of. I've been using like my little scrappy ones, you know, when you get just small amounts, and I've been using those to try and get rid of some of the small ones. But, so that's all I can cut up for now because I'm still sewing this. So this is just doing different stitches here. So I'm filling in this bow with just some long and short stitches. And I've just done some flowers. They're just straight stitches with a little French knot inside, and these are just it's a split back stitch, that's it. And I've outlined them all with, I think I used 3 strands of like the DMC stranded cotton, and then for all the decorating I'm using 2 strands. So that's a little belt done and a little ribbon. And then I think I might do some, I don't know whether to do more lines. That might be too much. I think what I'm going to, I don't think I'm going to do much more. I think on the petticoat, I just put my needle over here. I might just do some little thread beads. So that's just like a little bobble of stitches. And you just come up a few times, 3 or 4 little stitches on top of each other to make a little bubble. It gives a lovely texture when you've got a few on your fabric. Just randomly going on like that. So I think I'm going to leave this video here. Let me just see how long I've been going for. Oh, okay, not too long. So, but I think I'm going to go away. I'm trying to think, shall I go away and finish what I've got, end this video, or shall I come back and show you more? I'm not too sure what to do. My brain isn't catching up with me yet. Yeah, I think I'm going to just go away, stop the video, and then I'll come back and yeah, I will. So I'm stopping the video. I'll see you soon. Right, I'm back. I have done quite a bit more to my crinoline ladies. Just show you what I've done. This is kind of how I've started it. I pinned all of my ladies' down on my skirt, and then what's it called, invisible stitch, tacked it down just so that they won't come up too much and bubble up, and then start to just put little bits around the edge just to complement the skirt and the dress and everything. So what I've done, this is the one I'm working on at the moment, but I have done most of the others. So this one here, I've just put a Suffolk puff, some fabric, some little bits of rick-rack. That's a little pansy. This one here, a hexie that I had, a little bit of lace, more rick-rack. I may put some more on that because that's not got, some of them haven't got too much on at the moment. So I may put some more on that one there, just a little bit of lace trimmings and stuff. That one there, little flowers, because obviously this is, the ladies are in the flower garden. So I'm probably going to be scattering more flowers around, and just things that depict flowers. So a little bit of fabric with a flower on, a little Suffolk puff that could be kind of depicted as a, oh, I know what else I've got to tell you as well. You know how I was mentioning that I didn't like the bouquets that I did? So what I found was, I haven't got much left now, but that's all I've got left. I had this little strip of vintage trim. It goes that way. And I thought, oh, those would be lovely. So I've cut most of them up and put them on, and I just think that looks lovely. So it looks like a little bouquet now, and I'm really happy with that. Sometimes you just can't see what it needs to be sometimes. So I was going to leave the embroidery that I'd done, but I wasn't really happy with it. So I'm so glad that I found the trims, and on every single, they're all the same, but they just look really nice. So I'm really happy with that little bow on that one, which I'm doing on the next one, but I'm just showing you at the moment. Another hexie there, Suffolk puff, some rick-rack, just kind of like to complement the colours of the dress and everything. Yellowy one there, lovely lilac-y blues there. That one I haven't done yet, the watering can, and then this is the pink one. We're back round, and this is the pink one that I'm doing at the moment. So all I did was just got little scraps, and this here is just a piece of ribbon, just this light ribbon here, just cut about a 6-inch length, and then just tied a bow in it. Let me do it, just is like that kind of thing, and then popped it on, and then with my needle, I think this is what I'm doing at the moment because my needle's actually under here, just putting it on. So I'm doing the actual bow bit first, and then I will do the tails afterwards, and just kind of arranging the bow how I want it, so that it doesn't look too flat, even though it is going to be flat on the actual piece. And what I've decided to do when I was putting the ladies on, the crinoline ladies on, I decided that I will have them all at the same height. It looked really messy. I did try to kind of stagger them in different ways, but it looked really messy. So I'm happier that it's all one length, and then what's going to happen, sorry, all one height. And then what's going to happen is I've left a gap here. This is where my words are going to go. So they are going to go all the way round. As I say, this is kind of an evolving project. It's not something that I've thought about from start to finish in the exact things that I'm going to be doing to it. So it's evolving all the time to how it's kind of fitting together organically, if you like. And I'm just using a contrasting, this is like a bluey grey thread. I've just used other contrasting coloured threads. That's got a, what's that one? That's got like a green. That was like a pinky, peachy colour. So I'm just going to go into the centre and just do a couple of stitches to tie the ribbon down in the centre. And then for the little, I kind of want it kind of going I'm going to just hold it with my thumb and just start stitching it at the edges. I know you can't see very much because my thumb's over it, but I can't I can't move it at the moment. I suppose I could have pinned it down, but it's just it seems easier. Oops, I think I've got a knot. I don't want to go too far down. In fact, what I will do now is just snip this at an angle. So that's going to be that side. We've got a very windy day here. It's just really, really windy. I've just, about half an hour ago, I looked out the window and we've got like a little, it's not a proper beehive because it's just a bird box. It's quite a big bird box, but the bees, the honeybees, have seemed to take residence in it. But I just looked out of the window and they were swarming earlier on, all the way over, right around the garden. Absolutely hundreds, maybe thousands of bees just swarming the garden. It happens every so often, but it usually happens on really sunny days, and it's not a really sunny day today, it's a really windy day, so I'm not quite sure what they're thinking, but there's still a few floating around. It's just really strange because it happened a few weeks ago as well. Usually it only happens once or twice a summer, but it's not really summer yet, so a bit strange that they've done it twice in a few short weeks. I'm just looking out the window and we have got a family of blue tits. There's one on the bird feeder at the moment. Oh, yes, it's still there. There's 3 of them. I think there's like the parents and a baby, because I keep seeing them around as a 3 feeding the baby. So I think of you, Kristy, when I see the blue tits, because I know that they're your favourite bird. It's just a shame that they weren't around when you came a few weeks ago. Oh, there you go, got the nut out. There, so that's that little end of the ribbon. I'm going to like that. Oops. Something like that. Ouch, my finger. So just get into there, and then I'm just going to do that. that's just to stop it from fraying if you cut it at an angle. Just going to finish that off. This here has been put on with a canthus stitch, and then I'm just going to wrap around with just a straight stitch or a whip stitch just all the way around here, and then that will be the same. That will be just whip stitched round. So I'm going to go and finish those off, and then I'm going to be starting on the words. So I'll pop off again, just go and finish these off, and then come back and show you how I'm going to do the words. Right, I have now finished all of the stitching on the little crinoline ladies. So as you can see, they're all there. I think there's 6. Yep, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the front. I hope you can get all that in. It's really hard to. Oops, got that slide. And then the 6 on this side. That's the back. So I'm really pleased with how they've turned out. I love how they've turned out. Oops. So I'm now going to be focusing on my words. So I'm going to start here, and I am just looking for my words wherever they've gone. Oh, they've got over here. Because I'm going in a straight line now, and I know that there's 64 inches, this isn't quite going to do it. So I may have to just space this out a little bit, but I don't think that's going to be a problem at all. So I'm just looking for a pencil so I can show you what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to go over my letters, make sure that I like how they're all written. I'm going to use that Mary, and then I'll use it twice. Okay, I'm just going to do one line at a time. I'm just exaggerating some of the letters a little bit. Like that. So I'm just going to, just for ease of use, that's the first kind of sentence. So then I'm going to take my tracing paper, find it. Oh, I've got a bit of spare there. This is just normal tracing paper. I get this in the UK, it's the Works. Any art shop will sell it. You can also use baking parchment as well if you haven't got any tracing paper to hand. So I'm just going to trace the Mary. going to miss that one out. Okay. Then what I also need to do is go over them on the back. So that it transfers over onto the paper, or onto the fabric. Okay. So just, it's going to be somewhere there, the start is. So I'm going to start under this lady here. Because you're working on a 3D piece, I'm getting caught up in it. It's kind of hard to flatten it out sometimes, so you just have to do a little bit at a time. Now, I don't know whether you can see or not on here. This dress, these tucks here, you can actually see there was another tuck. There used to be another tuck there and another tuck there, and I think what's probably happened is over the years perhaps the child who this dress was for has grown, so what they've done is they've taken the tucks out to kind of lengthen it a little bit so it's got more use out of it. So there's actually 2 more tucks that's been undone. I haven't undone them. You can actually still see the thread that's still in here. Look, there's still the thread in there. They haven't even bothered to take the thread out. All they've done is just unpicked it and just left the thread in there. I'm going to leave it in because it's kind of like a quirk of the dress. So given that, I can actually, there are actually lines here, so I've kind of got markers of where to go. So I think what I'm going to do is use this bottom line here, this line here, as my marker, and just go a little bit above it, just so there's a little bit of room, but kind of like there. And that's where I'm going to start. So if I just go over my letters again, I hold it there and just, yep, that's perfect. Okay, just go over it slightly if it doesn't come through clear enough. I should probably sharpen my pencil actually, it seems to have gone down a bit, so I kind of want a comma there. And then I'm going to do the next Mary. just leaving a little bit more of a gap than I probably would do, just to make up for those, the short, you know how I said it wasn't quite the right length. So I'm just spreading them out a little bit. Okay, it needs a little bit of a I've not put the cross on the T because I can do that anywhere. It's not, I don't need a guide for that. Okay, so that's my first sentence. I'm not going to do any more because what happens is the pencil can kind of rub and it can make it go a little bit, you know, it can smudge. That's the word I'm looking for, the smudge. So in fact I'm going to use a smaller hoop as well, if I can find my other hoop, which I don't know where I've got it now. Oh, let's undo all this stuff. This one's just, I've bound this one already, so it holds a little bit better. Okay, so I'm just going to start with that. Trying to be gentle with this because I do not want it to rip. Can you imagine if I ripped it? Eek. Sure I'll be able to mend it, but I don't want to. There, so that's where I'm going to start. I've got my colours already picked out. Honestly, I did have them picked out. Where have I put them? Oh, there they are. Okay, so I've kind of changed them just slightly. Is that all of them? I think it may have been. That was too light. I think that was it. So they're kind of a little bit darker, but I just wanted it to stand out. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using these kind of colours here to do my words, and I will just do a few words and then change colour and do it that way. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the video here because this is a rather long video and I know the next one's going to be a long video. I'm going to split this project into two. So I will leave you there with a little view of the ladies and start on my words because I've showed you. All I'm going to do is backstitch round on these, and I will show you more of that on the next video, I think. And then also I'm going to be putting my cockle shells and silver bells and cockle shells and little trinkets in the lovely what's it called? The border, the lacy kind of thing. So put that in there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed what I've been doing so far, and I hope it's like inspired you to have a go yourself at a difficult piece of fabric that you know, can be transformed. And I hope to see you again soon anyway. Okay, in the meantime, take care. Bye bye.